Yes.
Yes!
We did it, man.
We did it!
We did. Fuck. What do we have? Like 7 episodes?
9? I thought it was 9.
I don't. Yeah, man. I'm so. I feel so blessed that we fucking got at least that many.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really beautiful. Like, we said let's do this thing, and we just made it happen. So, I feel really grateful for that, and I'm so excited to just like get it out to the world. I'm really excited just to like start sharing it.
I think it's gonna be good. I like. Yeah. How did this even come up?
Well, I think that we really just like talking to each other.
Yeah, no, fair. Yeah, absolutely. Like, that's the real reason, is because we just, like, do this in our day-to-day lives, and we really enjoy, like, conversation.
Yeah. Do you feel like there was a particular moment where you thought...
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember whether there was a specific moment that we said, we should definitely do a podcast. Because there was, but I just can't remember where it was.
I felt like we had reoccurring discussions between you and I, and also with other people, where we just felt like, well, there was something really magical about that, and maybe we could just see it because we were just observing each other in it, and we thought, well, if nothing else, it would be fun to share this with people that we know, and that there was some value in that there was some value in the connection, in the intimacy, and also the depth that we were going with ourselves and with people, and also being open to that, I think, was like, I felt like we had a couple of those though.
Yeah, for me it just kind of feels like there wasn't a specific moment. It was like, it was a process more than a like a clear decision time thing, you know? Like, it was like we were doing it like just naturally. Then we started talking about that we both listen to podcasts, and we like this sort of space, because you have like space to actually like have a conversation that has got enough complexity and depth, because you have the time to explore.
And I guess like from my perspective, I could see it almost as a personal development or personal growth, where I could see that in my work I was in my personal life as well, but in my work as well, that I needed to continue to develop as a communicator and as a listener, and it's something that I've worked really hard on for the last, well, definitely 4 or 5 years, but I guess particularly in the last like 2 to 3, because my security and my lifeblood is dependent on it in some way. So I think I've seen some kind of, at least with certain people, some like depth or some growth in conversation, and feeling like I don't think these are there. Sometimes they can be really heavy, and sometimes people don't always want to have them, and I totally understand,
for sure.
And I think that there was a point where I got a feeling that people really appreciated the conversations that I was having with them, and I think you probably get the same, because you're willing to go on that journey with people, and to be curious, and to explore your own thoughts, and to be open to what might come of that. And,
so for me, it's we've talked about this before, and it's a lot to do with if you're having conversations which have depth and meaning, then you can discover a lot more about yourself, and you can discover, but you know, through the process of discovering another person, you end up like sort of unmasking your real self, you know, like you create, if the space of the conversation is there's enough openness for you to actually be able like to share your ideas and your questions, and if you are genuinely open to listen and to learn something from the other person, then there's definitely like, you can definitely gain a lot from it, like you and obviously what you were also giving away, because to create that space, you have to facilitate the conversation in a way that people are willing to offer what they have to offer in a way that is positive and meaningful for both people.
Yeah, right. There is this kind of mutual exchange of value in a way, where you are expressing your thoughts and actually uncovering your own thoughts in the moment, and also from their side you're hearing their thoughts and their perspective and trying to create, which I love that, because there's a lot of from my perspective, there's a lot of humility in that. And and Jiddu Krishnamurti talked about this, well, he wrote about it and talked about it quite a bit, that relationship, that true relationship and true intimacy and connection comes from this humility and this exploration, that there is in some ways no fundamental truth, and there is also some fundamental truth in the same sentence.
Yeah.
But the only way that you start to genuinely connect with someone is if you see them right in the moment, and you only see them in the moment if you can approach the conversation that way, which is, actually, I don't really know the answer to this, neither do you, and we're just gonna do this thing together.
Yeah.
Where we find that out, which I love that.
It's the, like I said, it's the unmasking. If I'm able to unmask parts of you, and you're able to unmask parts of me, we will both see a part of reality that we wouldn't see otherwise.
Yeah.
And I also, once again, like we've talked about, this has a lot obviously to do with me as well, with storytelling, because like for me, good stories are stories about people, and are stories about like how people interact with each other, how people talk to each other, what is important to people, what's meaningful. Why do you want to tell a story if you don't get anything from it? You know, like there should be definitely something that you should kind of be taking from any kind of story, and to see conversations like these develop in real time, it's like there's something magical. It's kind of like you feel the now unfolding if you're paying attention to the conversation.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just really interesting in terms of storytelling, because yes, you need to create the structure and all of that, but at the end of the day, you want to be like carried throughout this story, right? And you have to be present, and you have to be focused on the thing that is happening at the moment. And if the conversation has depth, or the story, but in this case the conversation has depth, then you stay interested, and you just keep talking about you just keep following the conversation naturally, and it just feels like it's something that is worth listening to.
Right. Yeah, and I guess for you as a filmmaker, that's crucial, because and a director, it's about crafting a story, it's about crafting meaning in a very concise period of time. And a lot of that, like you said, it is about detail, it's about nuance, and it's about being present in the moment as things unfold. And I think for me, I love this format, and I love, this is so important for me because of the ability and the practice of connecting with people, and exploring how we perceive the world, and how we're approaching the things that we're creating, and I think that it's so personal from my background, and also the work that I do. This idea that trust and intimacy and creating security in a space is fundamental to quality work, and to people connecting, and to making really beautiful things. And so this kind of interaction for me is what I live for. So I think that it's from a work perspective, and also just from a personal perspective.
I think that's why we started getting along so well, is because we have this exact same thing. You just said something that you live for it, and same as me. Like, these things are just so, they just like my dad says, they are the things that have some juice in it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, right. And from a winemaking country, that is the vital.
That's right.
It's the fundament.
So we are Joao and Nathan. We are talking to a camera for the first time, which is kind of weird, but I think that the conversations that we will be showing you in the future, they were quite important and interesting to us. We learned a lot from the people that we interviewed. We would love to share it with you, and hopefully you'll have a good experience from that as well, and you'll be able to learn something. And I don't know whether you want to say something as well.
So the original intention for Joao and I was to sit down with people who we thought were making beautiful things in the world. So we wanted to speak to writers, to directors, filmmakers. We wanted to speak to entrepreneurs, people who were running their own businesses and charities. We wanted to speak to people who were writing, people who were cooking, anyone who we felt like was making meaning in the world through the things that they were actually making or creating. And we wanted to explore the process of creation. And we wanted to explore why that was important to people. And we wanted to do that in an intimate way. And this is kind of the result of that. And we think we've had some really good conversations. We think we've explored a range of topics about why people create, how they create, the people that they create with, things that we've definitely learned from, and things we think could absolutely help young creators or people who have a desire to go out and make meaning in the world and are just trying to understand what that looks like from different perspectives. So yeah, we hope.
I think there's also like the fact that we're talking to people who are doing like, well, in my opinion, I'm guessing yours as well, that are doing really important work, but it's like they're not like super famous people or anything like that. They're just normal human beings, but they're actually just doing stuff that is important and that is worth sharing. You know, like I feel that there's so many people who have so much to tell. Like everybody's got such an interest. Everybody's so complex. Everybody's just got so much to tell, and we sometimes might just focus on stuff that is maybe not that important or that will help you grow in any way, and we just think that you can learn that from people just around you. Just if you look around, there's enough interesting people that will make the space in this life and this world like a wonderful mystery that you would be very happy to go and discover, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's also like a part of the kind of people that we want to have in the show. And
I think that's really important actually, because I think fundamentally we are connecting with people, and the people and these conversations manifest from us, Joao and I, just going out and meeting people and sharing our own approach towards work and life, and it resonating with people, and people feeling like they want to share that with other people, which is why they've ended up here on the couch. And the magic when someone is so connected and so aligned to the work that they do is really palpable, and it's why we think these conversations are worth sharing. So I think it's a really valid point. So
subscribe.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, the second season. Yeah, I mean, it's good. You just follow us. I mean, I don't want to give away too many secrets. Just, you know.
Well, hopefully, like you will follow us and or subscribe or whichever platform you're listening this or watching this from, and come and have some interesting talks with the people that we meet.
And say hello.
Yes, please say hello.
We'd love to chat.